Here's what happened round 4 of the FIM Supermoto World Championship. Mauno Hermunen took the whole shot in moto number 1 from Thomas Kuressaare and Adrian Kuressaare, but before long, Adrian Kuressaare found a way past, literally coming out of the second corner, found a way into second place. In the early stages though, Kuressaare found a way past Mauno Hermunen and he was the early leader. And it's not often that Mauno Hermunen gets led around a Supermoto World Championship racetrack in 2013. Of course, it wasn't long before he found a way through and was back in front. So at that point, it was Hermunen, Adrian Kuressaare, Thomas Kuressaare. Meanwhile, a little bit further down the field, on board with Thierry van den Bosch behind Giovanni Busai. After making a poor start, he eventually tailed the former Superbike rider and into the right-hand turn, found a way through, made that pass to go 12th. And eventually, Thierry van den Bosch, the former world champion in only his second comeback ride, a little bit of bar banging along the way, eventually got through into 6th by the time the checkered flag fell. That was him passing Hans Meyer to take 10th at that point in the race. Mauno Hermunen, though, started to pull away, and the guy that was going with him was Adrian Kuressaare in second place. So these two were really setting the pace up front, but despite his efforts, Adrian Kuressaare couldn't find a way through and had to settle for second as Hermunen went on to victory in race 1. In S1 race 2, once again, Mauno Hermunen with the whole shot, and it was Adrian Kuressaare following close behind with Van den Bosch and Thomas Kuressaare as well, but there was a crash involving Sylvain Bedard, Giovanni Busai and Thomas Travnicek. Mauno Hermunen, though, he was the early pace setter. Adrian Kuressaare was there in second, Thomas Kuressaare was in third, Van den Bosch, a better start for him on the 101 machine, was in fourth. But you kind of got the feeling he was riding shotgun for Thomas Kuressaare as the carnage picked itself up from turn 1. It was Giovanni Busai, Travnicek and Bedard. Well, Thomas Kuressaare with the 101, Van den Bosch behind him, and there was also a freight train that involved Rivaglia and Lazzarini. But up front, the battle that the fans were loving was between Hermunen and Adrian Kuressaare as Thomas Travnicek pulled out with what looked like a leg injury. Going out of 6th and 7th were Christian Rivaglia and even Lazzarini, those two coming together in the dirt section. Lazzarini then was on the charge. He found himself behind the number 18 of Prance Pals of Estonia. He was in 12th place at that point, found himself into 11th when he eventually went through. Patrick Pals was in 13th, but Rivaglia easily up the inside of him. He made the pass. Rivaglia eventually went on to finish in 8th, passing the likes of Alexander Ratshev, the number 21, along the way as well. Lazzarini, though, was in 7th, with Fabrizio Bartolini in 8th. Bartolini would drop down to 10th by the time the checkered flag fell, but up front, it was all about Mauno Hermunen and Adrian Kuressaare as they battled for the lead. Mauno Hermunen, though, really making it look easy this weekend. Number 1, Thomas Kuressaare, he was in 3rd. Van den Bosch looked like he was just sitting there in 4th place, doing his fellow countrymen a bit of a favour. Grelio was having a great ride in 5th place, the number 127. But Mauno Hermunen, though, just like in moto number 1, was able to weather the storm. He was able to take a quick look over his shoulder coming out of the final turn, and he would go on to win moto number 2 and, of course, the overall round. Just to make sure, just letting everybody know, yes, I am number 1. So your overall podium then, in Estonia, Thomas Kuressaare was 3rd, Adrian Kuressaare was 2nd, that's him on the left. Mauno Hermunen centre stage once again as he wins here in Estonia. Of course, he receives another red plate and continues to lead the championship after 4 rounds.
It's been a really pleasure to be in Estonia and Kuressaare, and it's been the best event so far, and I think it'll be ever the best event for me because I won everything and was so much Finnish and Estonian people and everybody was cheering for me all the time, and it's just an amazing feeling to win here in front of everybody.